Hello everyone, it's Sue from Raven's Escape Crafts here, and it's day 5,623 of me knitting these washcloths. Pray for me, no I'm kidding. But it does seem like forever. So hi everybody, welcome to my channel. Oh my goodness, I couldn't resist it. Oh, I have this many done. This many. I'm working on them. I'm working on one right now. If you saw my video yesterday, you know what I'm talking about. So happy Tuesday. Ooh, happy Tuesday. Welcome, 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 or welcome back, depending on if you're new here or not. I am Sue from Raven's Escape Crafts. I am your host for this channel. We talk about all things crafty and lots and lots and lots of other stuff. So sorry I did not get this video done earlier today. I'm gonna have my blanket on because it's chilly. I have the air blasting, but if I don't blast the air, then I'm hot. So, you know, problems. And then earlier today, I was trying to film this video and my phone fell and then I couldn't reach it. And, it's been a thing. I don't know. I don't know. Whatever. So I'm going to be still knitting on these washcloths probably for a couple more days. I just want to get them done. I just want to finish them so that all this scrubby yarn is finished and I can do with it what I want. If you didn't watch yesterday's video, I explained I am determined. I found this while we were rearranging some things. I knew I had it, and I've just determined that I'm going to knit all these washcloths, and it's getting tedious. I'm not gonna lie. It's getting to the point where I don't really want to do it. But I'm going to muscle through. I am not a quitter. I am a completionist. I will finish my endless knitted scrubby washcloths. And then I can work on the rest of the kitchen sets, which is done in cotton, which I crochet, which thank goodness, because I go so much faster. But this is where I'm at with these. Hold on. So, let's see, today, what do we want to discuss? Well, I just saw that Ozzy Osbourne passed away. So, rest in peace, Ozzy. That's really sad. I did watch some of his Farewell, the Black Sabbath concert online, obviously not in real life. And I did see an interview with him saying that he knew he was dying and he wanted to do this one last concert. So it's, I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I cried through that concert, you know, watching him sing Mama, I'm Coming Home. You know, he was a iconic, just iconic musician, and like him, I mean, whether you liked his music or not, he did a lot for the music community. He changed the music community in many different ways. He did, you know, give to our music community. You know, he was really a cool, interesting person, and it does make me sort of sad to see, you know, end of an era, I guess. You know, we grew up with Ozzy, and I was never able to see him in concert. I was supposed to go to one of the Ozfests many moons ago, and I just I even had tickets, and then things happened and I didn't get to go. So I always wanted to see him in concert. I always was just a legend, you know what I mean? Somebody I would have liked to see in person, that I didn't get to. So rest in peace, Ozzy, and my heart goes out to his family, to Sharon and you know, his kids and his grandkids and everybody else, and everyone else who was a fan. I mean, you know, we all, something a lot of us can share is, you know, whether you were a big fan of his or not, he did a lot. He did a lot for the community, for the world, really, you know, and so anybody who's mourning his loss, my heart goes out to you too. Sort of on the same note, I also wanted to put put it out in public. My heart goes out to Greg from Greg's Loops. If you follow, I don't know if you've seen him on YouTube. He had to put his dog Kira down yesterday. She had been sick, and he took her to the vet yesterday, and unfortunately she had kidney problems, and so he had to say goodbye to her yesterday. And he posted a video. Oh my God, I was in tears. I know how much Kira meant to him, and I'm so sorry, Greg, for your loss. If you see this, I don't know if you will. If not, I mean, if you give him some, go over to his channel and send him some love and some prayers, because he could use them right now. She was really his, what he had in his life. So I feel so bad for you, Greg. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I've lost pets, and it's not easy. And like I said, I know she meant a lot to him. So, okay. So, some depressing news today, But, and then the other thing, I wanted to talk about this yesterday, and I didn't get a chance because I went off on a tangent, and I talked about everything else. But, so I've been following, I don't know if any of you in the Yarny commune have seen this lady who has been, talking about nitpicks, okay? This woman has been causing sort of a stir on the YouTube streets, and I guess on Instagram as well. I haven't seen her on Insta, but I saw her. She keeps popping up on my YouTube. She's claiming that there are bugs in the Knitpicks yarn. And I've watched her videos and stuff, and I've seen a few people mention her, and I just wanted to mention, just get on board on my channel on this. So I've watched all her videos that she puts up on YouTube, and just my 2 cents, okay? She's very angry. I don't know if there's any truth to it, okay? She claims that there's carpet beetles in, if you order yarn from Knitpicks from the Ohio warehouse, you're going to get carpet beetles in your house, and that all these people have gotten infestations from it. Now, the reason I feel like I want to say something, because she's really I've seen multiple people talking about it in different Facebook groups and things, and people are really not wanting to order from Knitpicks because they're scared, and I don't blame them. However, here's my take on this. Now, she's never experienced this. She found a Reddit post from October of last year, and now she's, of course, going down a rabbit hole, saying that somebody got carpet beetles from a yarn order they got from Knitpicks, and that all these other people. But yet, she's only shown like maybe 4 or 5 other people that have claimed that this has happened. Now, Knitpicks and what's the other one? We Crochet are huge. I mean, between the 2 websites, they're huge. They get thousands of orders a day. You know what I mean? I know tons of people that order from them. And I just feel like if it was a serious problem, that there'd be more people out there. Because as well as I do, any kind of place anymore that does like the tiniest little thing, it gets put on a blast across the entire internetverse, like it, you know what I mean? Like, people find the littlest thing like in their Subway sandwich, and next thing you know, like, there's a picture of this, everywhere. Or, people were claiming to find worms in strawberries, and then that was everywhere. And, I just have a hard time believing that it's this, because things like carpet beetles are not like an isolated incident. They can really be very invasive. And my 2 cents, okay, and then we'll get into a little bit more. I'm not saying it hasn't happened, but I wonder if they've come from the manufacturer and they're not coming from the actual warehouse. I wonder if the manufacturer had whoever manufactures those yarns that people found them actually did have a carpet beetle problem, and it was isolated to those incidents. as far as she's making it out that the entire warehouse has a carpet beetle problem, and if you order any sort of product from We Crochet or Knit Picks, that you're going to get carpet beetles infestation in your entire house. And I just feel like if that was the truth, that there'd be so many more people complaining about it, because people found bugs in their yarn, and their houses are getting infested with this, that people will be putting on blast all over the place. And the fact that she hasn't actually seen this, or like she claims that like one lady had pictures, but like, okay, that's one person, and there's like thousands and thousands and thousands of orders through them, I just have a hard time believing that it's this major infestation, and that they're not doing anything, and that they're lying to customers. And I have a hard time with it. And a lot of the things, well, first off, let me say, obviously she's this very small channel. I understand why. She's very brusque. She's not very nice. Like, I tried to watch some of her other videos, and she's not very nice to watch. Nothing having to do with anything except for the fact that I don't want to say she's not pleasant to watch. She's not pleasant to listen to. And that's a big thing for me with my channels. Like, I really like, people that I can enjoy, especially because most of the time I'm knitting or crocheting while I'm watching my YouTube videos. So, I mean, they need to have a pleasant voice or talk about interesting things. And she's very brusque. Brusque is the best. She's not, like almost everybody I listen to or watch, like, for example, like Juan the Yarn Addict, he's really like calming and same with like Cinnamon Stitches, now she talks about all kind of stuff, and I like get invested in her life. Or like Russ from It's Raining Yarn, and he's, very calming and very, accommodating to everybody, and nice, and Crave Grandma, she talks about all kind of cool stuff. This lady is not, it's not my cup of tea. Let's put it that way. And my fear is, and I hate to accuse people of this, but we've seen it time and time again. We all know what gets clicks on social media is drama. And I feel like she's a very small channel. She's been on it for YouTube for a long time, and it's not getting people. And this drama is the perfect thing to gain followers. We all know good clickbait or some good drama is a great way to get people to watch your channel. She claims that's not what she's doing. And maybe in her heart she believes that, but I don't. I don't feel like, especially to the nastiness level that she's gotten with this, if that was not truly your intention, I don't think she would have taken it this far. I mean, she's gotten to the point where she's making wild accusations about this company. And inferring a lot of things that they have not said. I don't like that. Because, I don't care how big of a company it is. I don't like when people go after, companies and stuff like that just to go after them, Like, you can really hurt a company, and it doesn't really matter the size. And for what? For clicks, for views, stuff like that. I don't like that. Like, if you have a real issue with something, like, by all means, you know what I mean? But again, okay, social media and internet has given people, balls that they don't have in real life. Because It's one thing to have to walk up to a person and say something. It's another thing to sit behind your keyboard or on your phone and say something. So we treat each other differently on the internet than we would in person, which I don't love. And I know I have people in my life that I know do this, and I don't like it. I don't like when people like something. Okay, let me give you an example. You go to a restaurant or a fast food restaurant and you have a bad experience. Okay, it happens. People have bad days. Okay, if you've worked anywhere, you've had a bad day. And sometimes things slip through. Sometimes experience is not what you expected. For the very least, give the place a chance to make it right. Like, for example, many, many years ago, they had just opened a new Red Robin not too far from my house. And we went there for dinner. It was super busy. It was super busy when we went. It was a Friday night. It was super busy. And the food I got was, I'm not one to send stuff back. But somebody must have accidentally dumped like a whole bunch of spice into the meat that I got. And it was like a taco salad. To the point where it was actually inedible. And I am not one to, like I said, I am not one to send stuff back. In fact, I had other people at the table taste it, and it was the flavor was so much. There was more spice than meat. You couldn't actually eat it because it was like dry, and like you could taste the powder from the spice, and it wasn't, and not even the meat. There was not enough moisture to. So I said something to the waitress, and she's like, well, it's spicy. It's a taco salad. It's supposed to be spicy. And I'm like, no, I understand that. This is not right. And she was like, well, I don't know what you want me to do. It's a taco salad. Okay. I wasn't happy. I didn't get to eat dinner that night. Okay. Did I go on social media and put them on blast? No. Did I tell everybody in the world what happened? No. I went home and I contacted the manager for the restaurant because it was so busy that night. I knew the manager did not need one more thing. So I waited until, I think it was Monday, and I called the restaurant and I said, look, I just want to tell you, I had a really bad experience there the other night. The food was inedible, and I tried to tell the waitress. I did not want to bother the manager. It just seemed like everything was so busy, you know what I mean? And I just said, I just wanted to let you guys know. And they were like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. Can we please make it up to you? Ended up, she's like, I'm going to send this to corporate. They sent me like free. I didn't ask for that. I didn't even, I kind of wanted my meal compensated. And I'm not one to do that. But it was just sort of irritated that I had food that I really couldn't eat. And she's like, no problem. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. She couldn't do enough. They sent me gift certificates. And I was like, okay, stop. I'm not upset, I was, So that's, to me, if you have a really bad experience, like, let them know and let them make it up to you. Now, if they don't, if they get really like stupid about something, I mean, obviously, yeah, okay, that's fine then. But I've never really met a place that didn't want to make it right. So like I said, my concern with this whole nitpicks thing, I don't want to see nitpicks or We Crochet get a reputation or get people canceling or suspending their orders or whatever, because I am just not thoroughly convinced that this woman is correct about, and like they're saying they had exterminators come in. And then she's accusing them of not, or not handling it properly. But how does she know that? I mean, she doesn't know that. Do you know what I mean? She doesn't know if they had exterminators come in. She doesn't know if they've handled it properly. She doesn't know how, she's just making this up in her head and, saying like, well, did they change the policies in the warehouse, or do they know? And do they know and they're not telling us? And like, you don't know that. Maybe they did. Like I said, how easy would it be to get it from the manufacturer from overseas? That's how, like, look at, we have an entire infestation of stink bugs in the United States because they came over from, in Asia and on cargo ships. I mean, that's not their fault. And if they, obviously they have done something, or thousands and thousands and thousands of people's houses would be infested with carpet beetles. That's my thought. I'm not saying that it didn't happen to anybody, but I'm saying, like, if, they did mitigate with, exterminators or whatever, maybe they caught it, you know what I mean? Maybe they did have some yarn infested and then they quarantined it or whatever. I just feel like if there was a huge infestation like she's accusing, that we'd have so many more people accusing them of it. And like I said, my fear is, like, she's putting all these wild accusations out. She has no proof of any of this stuff. She's harassing the people at the company and expecting them to give her answers that most companies would not be giving you answers to questions like this. I mean, I've dealt with companies for, I was in the corporate world for many years. And there's no way in hell that some of these questions that she's expecting answers, there's no company on this planet that's going to give you those answers. She's claiming, oh, she knows all this stuff. But I'm like, I worked in the corporate world for years. Places are not going to answer you what their policies are and things like that in their warehouse. And, she wants receipts for the exterminator. I mean, who's going to do that? Who's going to do that? Nobody. I mean, come on. That's ridiculous. Sometimes you just have to work on faith that they did do things. And then she's saying, oh, they just sprayed outside. They didn't spray inside. You don't know that. My God, stop. Like, just stop accusing them of, like, that's ridiculous. Making assumptions, making accusations, and cursing these people out that answered her emails and things. I just don't like it. And I hope that it doesn't go much further. I hope we don't let her stop us from ordering from a website or getting from them. I hope to not see them get damaged in any way from this. I hope people take what she's saying, with a grain of salt and listen to what she's really saying. And the fact that she may or may not be just looking to get more followers. So that's my 2 cents. I just felt I needed to. I've been watching, like I said, I watched 3 hours of her videos talking about this. And just because I wanted to see what she was saying. I really did want to see. And I think it's just absolutely unreasonable. She's a little bit unhinged with it. I don't like it. Again, I don't think, I'm not saying there hasn't been any problem with them. I'm not saying they haven't had any issues. I'm not saying, I don't know. But I just don't think it's the big problem that she's making it out to be, talking about class action lawsuits and talking about everybody getting together to go against them. And I mean, for what? I mean, maybe they did have a problem. Maybe they'd have a problem with some of the yarn. I don't know. But, like, I think this is kind of dangerous talking. I think this is kind of thing we need to shut down. Tell her that it's not okay. I mean, she doesn't have any proof. So I wanted to talk about that. I'm not getting any knitting done because I'm talking about that. So what else is new? What are you guys doing this Tuesday? I don't know if it's going to rain or not. How you guys doing? How's it going? What are you guys up to? Somebody let me know in the comments. I don't know, nothing really today. It's just a boring Tuesday here. The kids start band again next week, so I'm not looking forward to that. But that's okay. So, yep. So, other than that, I don't know. I don't have a whole lot new. Just working on knitting and knitting and knitting. My fingers are sore, but not too terribly sore that I'm gonna stop doing it. So, I could, but I won't. So, well, I don't think I'm gonna do quite as long a video today because it is so late. Because today it's like 3:15, and I just finished this video because of my phone going away this morning, and I couldn't grab it. I had to hit one of my kids to get it. Oh yeah, just the way it is sometimes. So, yeah, I said it ran away from me this morning. So, I hope you guys are doing well. I did sell 3 witch hats yesterday. I'm so excited. I have to make some more witch hats now. So, maybe I'll show you guys how to make those one of these days. Because I'm out of the one color. I had extras of the other 2 colors, but I ran out of the one. So, I'm going to need to make more, especially since spooky season is coming. It's always spooky season here in my house, but so I hope you guys have a great rest of your Tuesday, whatever little bit is left, and I hope you guys are doing well. And I don't know. Well, I'll see you tomorrow. I will still be knitting washcloths. I know I will, and we'll figure out something else to talk about. So if there's anything you guys want to talk about, let me know in the comments. You can always let me know and like and subscribe. And I appreciate each and every one of you. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. I will see you again tomorrow. Choose love every day. Bye.